The fluorescent lights of the negotiation room flickered slightly as Commander Olivia Reeves paced back and forth, her face etched with lines of determination and a hint of weariness. Outside the massive viewport, the serene swirl of distant galaxies contrasted sharply with the tension inside. Seated across from her was Zoltan, the cold and calculating emissary of the Krell Empire, his iridescent skin reflecting the light with a subtle shimmer. His multifaceted eyes followed Reeves' every move with unsettling precision. "Commander Reeves," Zoltan began, his voice a melodious yet menacing tone, "the Empire has been patient with humanity's expansion into the outer rims, but your presence there is no longer tolerable. You must withdraw, or face the consequences." Reeves stopped pacing and turned to face him squarely. "And if we refuse?" she asked, her voice steady despite the high stakes. "The Empire has never engaged in war with humans," Zoltan replied smoothly, his tentacle-like appendages clasped together on the table. "Consider this a fair warning. Retreat, and you may survive." Reeves smiled thinly, her response immediate and firm. "We appreciate your warning, Emissary Zoltan. However, let me make our position unequivocally clear. Humanity will not be intimidated into abandoning our colonies. These people rely on us for their safety and well-being. We will protect them at all costs." Zoltan's gaze hardened, his skin shifting to a darker hue. "This is not mere intimidation, Commander. It is a promise. The might of the Krell Empire has subdued mightier civilizations than yours. It would be prudent to reconsider your stance." Unfazed, Reeves leaned forward, her eyes locked onto Zoltan's alien face. "And it would be prudent for the Empire to understand who they are dealing with. Humans have a history of thriving under pressure. We stand united, not just for survival, but for the right to live freely. We have made our homes among the stars, and we will defend them." The room fell silent, the tension thick as the hum of the ship's engines resonated faintly in the background. Finally, Zoltan stood, his height towering over Reeves. "So be it, Commander. The Empire will come. Prepare as you must." With those final words, he turned and exited the room, leaving behind a trail of cold air as the door slid shut with a hiss. Reeves turned to the viewport, her gaze cast out into the vastness of space. She whispered to herself, "Prepare, we will." She knew the challenges ahead would be formidable, but her resolve was unshakable. Humanity would stand its ground. 2 decades earlier, humanity made its inaugural leap into the cosmos, far beyond the confines of the solar system. The year was 2084, a time marked by both trepidation and monumental hope. The spaceship Pathfinder, a marvel of human engineering, drifted through the vast expanse of space, its mission clear and profound, to establish humanity's presence in the universe. Captain Julian Reeves, one of the first astronauts selected for interstellar travel and Olivia's father, gazed out of the command deck's viewport. Around him, the crew busied themselves with their duties, the soft beeps and clicks of the ship blending with muffled conversations. The vast loneliness of space was oppressive, but also filled with unexplored possibilities. As Pathfinder approached the fringes of the Epsilon Eridani system, an unexpected transmission crackled through the communication array. "Unknown vessel, this is the Zephyrian Conclave. You are entering controlled space. State your intentions." The crew froze. First contact. It was a scenario they had rehearsed countless times, yet nothing could have prepared them for the reality of the moment. Reeves stepped forward, clearing his throat before responding. "This is Captain Julian Reeves of the Earth ship Pathfinder. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and the possibility of friendship." What followed was an agonizing silence. Then, the air around them shimmered, and a new voice spoke, warm and rich with curiosity. "Welcome, Pathfinder. We are the Zephyrians. It is rare we meet travelers from uncharted regions. We invite you to our world to speak of peace and exchange knowledge." The invitation was unexpected but welcome. Upon their arrival, the Zephyrians proved to be a civilization of scholars and historians, with ethereal, translucent forms and a culture that valued knowledge above all else. The meeting took place in a hall of light and crystal, where ideas flowed as freely as the waters in the Zephyrian fountains. The Zephyrians shared their vast archives of galactic history, revealing the existence of numerous civilizations, alliances, and the overarching Galactic Council. They spoke of the Krell Empire only in hushed tones, as a powerful force that expanded through conquest and subjugation. It was here that humanity first learned of the broader galactic community and the delicate balance of power that maintained peace. Reeves and his crew spent weeks learning, sharing Earth's history and cultures in return. When they finally departed, it was with a cargo hold filled with star charts, cultural artifacts, and an invitation to join the greater galactic discourse. As Pathfinder made its journey back to Earth, Captain Reeves reflected on their incredible fortune. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe. They had been met not with hostility, but with open arms and open minds. This pivotal encounter set the stage for humanity's rapid expansion into space, driven by a newfound resolve to take their place among the stars as equals and learners. Now, 2 decades later, as Commander Olivia Reeves faced the threat of the Krell Empire, she drew strength from her father's legacy. The lessons of that first contact, the alliances formed, and the knowledge gained would be crucial in the coming conflict. Humanity had come too far to turn back now. Reeves activated the ship's communication system. "This is Commander Reeves to all Earth colonies and outposts. We face an imminent threat from the Krell Empire. Prepare for potential conflict. But remember, we are not alone. We have friends among the stars, and together, we will face this challenge." As her message echoed across the vastness of space, reaching the scattered human settlements, Reeves knew that the true test of humanity's resolve was about to begin. The stars that had once welcomed them now held a looming threat, but also the promise of unity and strength. The next chapter in human history was about to be written, and Olivia Reeves was determined to ensure it would be one of courage, innovation, and unwavering determination. As news of the confrontation between Commander Olivia Reeves and Zoltan spread across the galaxy, the Galactic Council found itself in a precarious position. The ancient institution, responsible for maintaining peace and order among countless civilizations, now faced its greatest challenge yet. In the grand chambers of the Council's headquarters on the neutral planet Zephyria, representatives from various species gathered for an emergency session. The air was thick with tension as holographic displays flickered to life, showing the latest intelligence reports on the human-Krell conflict. Council leader Thura, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin, called the session to order. "Esteemed colleagues, we face a crisis that threatens the very fabric of our galactic community. The Krell Empire's aggression towards humanity cannot go unchecked, yet we must also consider the consequences of intervention." The chamber erupted into a cacophony of voices, each representative eager to voice their opinion. Some argued for immediate action against the Krell, while others cautioned restraint, fearing a larger conflict that could engulf the entire galaxy. Amidst the chaos, a quiet voice cut through the noise. It belonged to Zorn, the Arcturian ambassador known for his wisdom and foresight. "Friends, let us not forget the lessons of history. We have seen empires rise and fall, but never have we encountered a species quite like humanity." Zorn's words silenced the chamber. He continued, his voice growing stronger. "In the short time since their emergence on the galactic stage, humans have shown remarkable adaptability and resilience. Their colonies, though scattered, are united by a spirit we have rarely witnessed. Perhaps, instead of viewing this conflict as a threat, we should see it as an opportunity." The council members exchanged puzzled glances. Thura leaned forward, intrigued. "An opportunity, Ambassador Zorn? Please elaborate." Zorn's eyes twinkled as he explained his vision. "The Krell Empire has long been a thorn in our side, pushing the boundaries of our laws and treaties. Humanity, with its unique blend of ingenuity and determination, might be the force needed to check the Krell's expansion. By supporting the humans, we not only protect a promising young species but also maintain the balance of power in our galaxy. The chamber buzzed with murmurs as council members considered Zorn's words. Some nodded in agreement, while others remained skeptical. The Vulcan representative, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline form, spoke up. And what of the risks? If we support the humans and they fail, the Krell may see it as an act of war against the entire council. Thera raised a hand to quiet the rising debate. These are all valid concerns. We must weigh our options carefully. The fate of not just humanity, but potentially our entire galactic community, hangs in the balance. As the council deliberated, light years away, the human colonies were preparing for the coming storm. On the frontier world of Nova Terra, Governor Elena Rodriguez stood before a crowd of anxious colonists. The planet's twin suns cast long shadows across the gathering, their faces a mix of fear and determination. My fellow citizens, Elena began, her voice carrying across the square, we have received word from Earth about the Krell ultimatum. I won't sugarcoat the situation, we face a grave threat. But let me remind you of who we are. We are the descendants of explorers and pioneers. Our ancestors crossed vast oceans and braved unknown lands. Now, we have crossed the stars themselves. The crowd listened intently as Elena continued, her words igniting a spark of hope. We will not abandon our homes. We will not bow to threats. Instead, we will stand together, not just as Nova Terrans, but as humans united across the stars. Our strength lies not in our weapons or our ships, but in our spirit, a spirit that has carried us from Earth to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. As Elena's speech concluded, a thunderous applause erupted from the crowd. The fear in their eyes had been replaced by a steely resolve. Across Nova Terra and other human colonies, similar scenes played out. Civilians volunteered for defense forces, scientists redoubled their efforts to develop new technologies, and diplomats worked tirelessly to forge alliances with neighboring alien civilizations. Back on the Galactic Council, the debate raged on. The decision they would reach would shape the future of the galaxy. As the council members argued and deliberated, a message arrived from Earth. It was a recording of Commander Olivia Reeves, addressed to the council. Reeves' holographic image appeared before the council, her expression one of quiet determination. Esteemed members of the Galactic Council, I speak to you not just as a representative of Earth, but as a voice for all of humanity. We stand at a crossroads, facing a threat that endangers not only our species but the principles of freedom and self-determination that we believe are the birthright of all sentient beings. She paused, her gaze sweeping across the chamber. We do not seek war, but neither will we shrink from it if it is forced upon us. We ask not for your intervention, but for your understanding. The Krell Empire's aggression threatens not just humanity, but the very ideals upon which this council was founded. We will defend our colonies, our people, and our right to exist among the stars. And in doing so, we hope to forge a path towards a more just and equitable galaxy for all. As Reeves' message concluded, a hush fell over the council chamber. Her words had struck a chord, reminding many of the ideals they had long championed but sometimes forgotten in the complex dance of galactic politics. Thera stood, her decision made. Colleagues, I believe we have heard enough. It is clear that this conflict between humanity and the Krell Empire has implications far beyond their immediate dispute. While we cannot directly intervene, we can ensure that humanity has a fair chance to defend itself. I propose we provide humanitarian aid to human colonies and open our archives to share defensive technologies that comply with our non-proliferation treaties. The vote that followed was nearly unanimous. The Galactic Council, while not declaring open support for humanity, had taken a stand against unchecked aggression. As news of the Council's decision spread across the galaxy, it sent a clear message: the era of Krell dominance was coming to an end, and a new power was rising among the stars. As the Council session adjourned, Ambassador Zorn approached Thera. "You've set a bold course, my friend," he said softly. Thera nodded, her expression grave. Indeed. Let us hope that humanity proves worthy of the faith we've placed in them. The coming days will test us all. The news of Earth's defiance against the Galactic Empire spread like wildfire across the cosmos. Captain Liam Hawthorne of the starship Nebula Voyager found himself at the center of a growing interstellar movement. As he navigated through the bustling spaceport on Centauri Prime, he couldn't help but marvel at the diversity of alien species gathered there, all united by a common cause. Hawthorne made his way to a dimly lit tavern, where representatives from various alien races had gathered in secret. The air was thick with tension and excitement. As he entered, all eyes turned to him, a mix of hope and skepticism evident in their gazes. "Welcome, Captain Hawthorne," rumbled Zaxthor, a towering reptilian being with iridescent scales. "We've heard much about Earth's stand against the Empire. Tell us, is humanity truly ready to challenge such a formidable foe?" Hawthorne took a deep breath, his eyes scanning the room. "Ready or not, we have no choice. The Empire threatens not just Earth, but the freedom of every sentient being in the galaxy. We're here to form an alliance, to stand together against tyranny." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Hawthorne continued, his voice growing stronger with each word. "Humanity may be young in the cosmic scale, but we've faced extinction before. Each time, we've emerged stronger. We bring with us the fire of innovation, the strength of unity, and an unbreakable spirit." As Hawthorne spoke, holographic displays flickered to life, showing Earth's recent technological advancements. The aliens watched in awe as images of advanced propulsion systems, energy weapons, and adaptive shield technology filled the air. "Impressive," chittered Clara, an insectoid diplomat from the Hive Collective. "But the Empire's reach is vast. How do you propose we combat such overwhelming odds?" Hawthorne smiled, a glint of determination in his eyes. "By hitting them where they least expect it. We've developed a plan, Operation Stardust. It's daring, perhaps even foolhardy, but it's our best shot at toppling the Empire's stranglehold on the galaxy." He activated a secure holographic projector, revealing a complex star map. "The Empire's power relies on a network of hyperlane control points. We've identified a critical node here, in the Orion Nebula. If we can capture and hold this position, we can disrupt their supply lines and communication networks across 3 sectors." The alien representatives leaned in, studying the map intently. Zaxthor's eyes narrowed. "A bold plan, but the nebula is heavily fortified. How do you intend to breach their defenses?" With a little human ingenuity, Hawthorne replied, a sly grin spreading across his face. He pressed a button, and the hologram shifted to reveal a sleek, almost invisible spacecraft. "Behold the Phantom. Our latest stealth technology, capable of slipping past even the most advanced sensor arrays." The room erupted in excited chatter. Clara's antennae twitched with interest. "And once inside, how do we hold against the inevitable counterattack?" Hawthorne's expression turned serious. "That's where we need your help. Each of your species has unique abilities and technologies. Together, we can create a defense that the Empire has never encountered before." As the night wore on, plans were made, alliances forged, and a spark of hope ignited in the hearts of those gathered. The Galactic Resistance, as they came to call themselves, was born. Weeks passed, and the day of reckoning approached. The combined fleet of the Resistance gathered at the edge of the Orion Nebula, a motley array of ships from dozens of worlds. At its heart, the Phantom waited, crewed by Earth's finest and representatives from each allied species. Hawthorne stood on the bridge of the Nebula Voyager, surveying the assembled armada. "All ships, report in," he commanded, his voice steady despite the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. One by one, the allied captains confirmed their readiness. As the last acknowledgement came through, Hawthorne took a deep breath. "This is it, people. The moment that will define the future of our galaxy. Remember why we fight, not just for our own worlds, but for the freedom of all sentient beings. May the stars guide us to victory." With a final nod to his crew, Hawthorne gave the order. "Operation Stardust is go. Phantom, you have the lead. Good hunting." As the Phantom disappeared into the swirling gases of the nebula, the rest of the fleet held position, tense and ready. Hours crawled by, feeling like an eternity. Suddenly, alarms blared across the command deck. "Multiple Imperial signatures detected," shouted the sensor officer. They're in disarray." A cheer went up as the Phantom reappeared, trailing a cloud of debris from the now-defunct control node. Hawthorne's voice rang out across the comm channels. "All ships, attack pattern Delta. The doors open, let's make it count." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations as the turning point in the war against the Empire. The Resistance fleet, empowered by their shared purpose and diverse strengths, fought with a ferocity that caught the Imperial forces off guard. As the last Imperial dreadnought fell, Hawthorne allowed himself a moment of relief. But he knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was watching, and the real war was just beginning. Humanity had proven its worth among the stars, and the alliance forged in the crucible of battle would reshape the cosmos for millennia to come. The Orion Nebula loomed ahead, its swirling gases glowing in hues of violet and gold. Beneath its beauty lay a deadly truth: it was the site of the Krell Empire's most fortified stronghold. Lieutenant Finn O'Brien, a young but seasoned pilot, stood on the bridge of the Resolute, humanity's flagship for the operation. Around him, the crew worked tirelessly, their faces a mix of determination and fear. This mission wasn't just about strategy, it was about survival. The combined fleet of humanity and their newfound allies had gathered at the edge of the nebula. Ships of all shapes and sizes floated in formation, sleek human vessels alongside the angular crafts of the Volari and the organic, fluid-like ships of the Zephyrians. It was an alliance born out of desperation but forged in hope. Finn adjusted his flight suit as he prepared to board his fighter. His heart pounded in his chest, but he forced himself to focus. He had trained for this moment, and there was no room for hesitation. The comm crackled as Captain Zarakuri's voice came through. "All units, this is it. The Krell Empire has underestimated us for far too long. Today, we show them what unity looks like. Stick to your squadrons, follow your leaders, and trust in each other. We fight not just for Earth but for every colony and every ally who stands with us." Finn climbed into his fighter, Sparrowhawk, its sleek design a testament to human engineering. The cockpit sealed with a hiss, and he ran through his pre-flight checks. Around him, hundreds of fighters powered up, their engines humming with energy. The fleet began to move as one, advancing into the nebula. The first wave of Krell ships emerged from the swirling gases like predators stalking their prey. Their dark hulls gleamed ominously as they opened fire without warning. Energy blasts streaked across space, lighting up the void in bursts of red and blue. Finn gripped the controls tightly as he weaved through the chaos. "Squadron 3, form up on me," Finn called over the comms. His squadron responded instantly, their fighters moving into a tight formation. Together, they dove toward an enemy frigate, dodging its defensive fire as they targeted its engines. Missiles streaked through space, slamming into the frigate's hull and sending it spiraling into the nebula. The battle raged on, each side trading blow for blow. The Krell forces were relentless, their tactics precise and brutal. But humanity's fleet fought with a ferocity born of necessity. The Allied ships worked together seamlessly, human pilots covering Zephyrian cruisers while Volari bombers targeted key Krell vessels. On board the Resolute, Captain Kurid monitored the battle with sharp eyes. "Status report," she demanded. "Shields are holding at 70%, her tactical officer replied. "We've taken out 3 enemy frigates, but their reinforcements are closing in fast." Kurid frowned but refused to let doubt creep in. "Send word to all units, focus fire on their command ship. If we can take it out, we'll disrupt their coordination. Finn heard the order over his comms and adjusted his course toward the massive Krell command ship at the center of their formation. It was an imposing sight, a fortress bristling with weapons and shielded by smaller escort ships. Squadron 3, we're going after that command ship, Finn said firmly. Are you crazy? One of his wingmates replied. That thing's a death trap. Maybe, Finn admitted, but if we don't take it out, this battle is over before it begins. With that, he led his squadron into the fray. They darted through enemy fire, using every ounce of skill and ingenuity to evade destruction. Finn's heart raced as he closed in on the command ship's shields. Target their shield generators, he instructed his team. We need to punch a hole through. Missiles and energy blasts rained down on the generators as Finn's squadron coordinated their attack with precision. The shields flickered under the assault but held strong. On board the Resolute, Captain Curry watched anxiously as her fleet struggled against overwhelming odds. She knew they needed more firepower if they were going to succeed. Activate Project Phoenix, she ordered. Her crew hesitated for a moment before complying. Project Phoenix was humanity's last-ditch weapon, a prototype superweapon capable of unleashing massive energy bursts but untested in live combat. As the Resolute powered up its weapon systems, Finn's squadron continued their assault on the command ship's shields. Sweat dripped down his face as he pushed his fighter to its limits. We're running out of time, one of his wingmates shouted. Finn gritted his teeth and made a split-second decision. Cover me, I'm going in. Before anyone could protest, he broke formation and dove straight toward the shield generators at full speed. Alarms blared in his cockpit as enemy fire closed in around him. Come on, just a little closer, Finn muttered under his breath. At the last possible moment, he fired a concentrated burst from his fighter's energy cannons directly into one of the generators. The explosion rocked his ship as debris flew past him. The shields are down, someone yelled over the comms. Captain Curry seized the opportunity immediately. All units, focus fire on that command ship. Let's finish this. The Allied fleet unleashed everything they had on the now vulnerable command ship. Missiles streaked through space while energy blasts tore through its hull piece by piece. Finally, with one last devastating explosion, the Krell command ship was destroyed. Cheers erupted across every channel as Allied forces celebrated their hard-fought victory. But there was no time to rest, the battle wasn't over yet. Captain Curry addressed her fleet once more, we've dealt them a major blow today, but this war is far from won. Stay vigilant, we fight until every colony is safe. As Finn guided his battered fighter back toward friendly lines alongside what remained of Squadron 3, a mix of relief and pride washed over him. They had faced impossible odds, and won, not just because they were skilled, but because they believed, in each other, and in humanity's place among stars. The aftermath of the peace treaty brought about a period of unprecedented change and growth for both humanity and the Galactic Empire. As the dust settled from years of conflict, a new era of cooperation and mutual understanding began to take shape. On Earth, cities once ravaged by war were rebuilt with advanced technology shared by former enemies. The skylines of major metropolises now featured a blend of human and alien architecture, symbolizing the fusion of cultures. In New Beijing, a towering spire of crystalline material gifted by the Empire stood as a beacon of peace, its ever-changing colors visible for miles. Commander Olivia Reeves, now promoted to Admiral, found herself at the forefront of a new initiative. The Interstellar Cooperation Program aimed to foster understanding between species through cultural and scientific exchanges. As she addressed a group of eager human and alien students, her words carried the weight of hard-earned wisdom. The stars were once a battlefield, she began, her gaze sweeping across the diverse audience. Now, they are our shared classroom. Let us learn from one another, for in our differences lie our greatest strengths. The program saw immediate success. Human scientists worked alongside their alien counterparts, tackling challenges that had once seemed insurmountable. On the distant world of Novus Prime, a joint team made a breakthrough in sustainable energy production, harnessing the power of quantum fluctuations in a way that promised to revolutionize life across the galaxy. Meanwhile, on the Empire's capital world, changes were equally profound. The once imposing imperial palace, a symbol of authoritarian rule, was transformed into a galactic cultural center. Its vast halls now echoed with the sounds of 1,000 languages as diplomats, artists, and ordinary citizens from across the stars gathered to share their stories and dreams. Emperor Zaxthor, in a move that shocked many, abdicated his throne in favor of a more democratic system. The time of singular rule is past, he declared in a historic address. Let us embrace a future where every voice is heard, where every being has a say in the destiny of our shared galaxy. The transition was not without its challenges. Centuries of mistrust and prejudice could not be erased overnight. On both sides, there were those who clung to old hatreds, who saw cooperation as weakness. Terrorist attacks and attempted coups threatened to derail the fragile peace. Yet for every act of violence, there were 1,000 acts of kindness and understanding. When a group of human extremists bombed an alien settlement on Mars, the response was swift and unexpected. Thousands of humans formed a protective circle around alien communities across the solar system, standing vigil day and night until the danger passed. As years turned to decades, the bonds between humanity and the former empire grew stronger. Joint colonies were established on the fringes of known space, where humans and aliens worked side by side to tame harsh worlds and unlock the secrets of the universe. One such colony, Nova Harmonia, became a shining example of what could be achieved through cooperation. Built on a world once thought uninhabitable, it flourished thanks to the combined ingenuity of its diverse population. Its biodomes, a marvel of engineering, housed thriving ecosystems where Earth plants grew alongside alien flora, creating new hybrid species that defied classification. It was on Nova Harmonia that a young human scientist named Liam Chen made a discovery that would change the course of galactic history. Working with an alien partner, he unlocked the secret of faster-than-light communication, instantly connecting the farthest reaches of known space. As news of the breakthrough spread, celebrations erupted across the galaxy. For the first time, beings on opposite ends of the cosmos could converse in real time, sharing knowledge and forming friendships across unfathomable distances. Admiral Reeves, now in the twilight of her career, watched the celebrations from the observation deck of her starship. As fireworks bloomed in the skies of 100 worlds, she felt a sense of pride and wonder. "We did it," she whispered to herself, a tear sliding down her cheek. "We found our place among the stars." As the galaxy entered this new age of enlightenment and unity, the story of humanity's rise from a war-torn species to a key player in galactic affairs became legend. It was a tale told in schools and homes across the cosmos, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and determination could light the way to a brighter future. The warning that had once shook the stars had transformed into a promise of friendship, of growth, and of endless possibilities. Humanity, once facing extinction, now stood tall among the galactic community, ready to face whatever challenges the universe might bring, not alone, but hand in hand with their alien brothers and sisters. And as new generations looked up at the star-filled sky, they did so not with fear, but with excitement and wonder. For they knew that each point of light represented not just a distant sun, but a world full of potential friends and adventures, waiting to be discovered. The story of humanity's struggle and triumph became more than just history, it became an inspiration, a beacon guiding countless species towards a future of peace, understanding, and shared prosperity. In the vast tapestry of the cosmos, humanity had woven its thread, creating a pattern of hope that would endure for eons to come.